Every entrepreneur has one. The moment you decide to start your own business, your story begins. And if you're like most business owners, your plan and your reality can end up being miles apart. Welcome to PTC TV and our series entitled The Journey. Each week, we will be talking to business owners about their business journey. Our hope is that by sharing these stories, others may find understanding, inspiration, and the will to succeed. So let me ask you, what's your story? All right. Welcome to The Journey, brought to you by Pull the Chute. I am your host, Jeff Cecil. By the way, we're in the studios today of Executive Brand Growth. Thanks to John and DJ for hosting us here today. I'm extremely excited with our guest today. Tracy Davison is the CEO of Network in Action, and Tracy's an amazing friend of mine. Tracy, welcome. We appreciate you being here so much.
Thanks so much, Jeff. It's a real honor and pleasure to be here with you.
So, Tracy, we're going to talk a little bit today. You know, the journey is all about your story, how you got to where you're at today, and what your ideas are for the future. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do that, do us a favor and just give us a little bit of your background, just so that everyone kind of knows who you are and where you came from.
Okay, sure. So I was in the education world for about 25 years in New York State. I started out as a substitute teacher and became a Spanish teacher, high school principal, elementary principal, director of special ed, and ended my career in 2016 as a superintendent. And was
that's quite a climb. Good for you.
Yeah. It's kind of like you're kind of coached to climb that ladder, and there's such a need for administrators that there's a good process there. But absolutely loved it, but was ready for a new direction in life in 2016, and so I decided to basically start a new chapter, moved to Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
My mom had kind of led the way here. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, well, thanks, Mom, too. So
yes.
That's good.
And but I wanted to be warmer. I wanted to be closer to family. My daughter was in Georgia. I got certified by the John Maxwell team as a leadership coach and did that for a while. Picked up a few other certifications on leadership and team building, DISC, personality profile stuff. And then COVID happened and everything came off my calendar. Mm-hmm. So I dug into LinkedIn. How could I serve my clients on LinkedIn? Okay. And that led to the actual founder of Network in Action being one of my clients. I was building these online events for people and bringing large crowds, and his interest was he wanted to, get the word out there about Network in Action and sell more franchises.
Sure.
So as I learned about the brand, and really it's about bringing business owners together once a month for community connection, growing our businesses together, learning together, and being pretty much a tight family. Okay. I loved that concept. And so one of the franchises we sold as a result of that call was me.
It was you. Okay, good.
Yeah. So
that's great. Awesome. And so what does the franchise get you? I mean, you have so many groups, or how does that work?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I have 3 groups. So one franchise is 3 groups. I've got a group of business owners in Nashville. I have a group of business owners in Sumner County, which you're a part of course. Very valuable member of our group. And then because of the success we had in those first 2 groups, one of our partners is PNC Bank. And so they offered that if we would build a 3rd group in Rutherford County, that they would help me build it and obviously be members. So that's what's in the works right now.
Oh, that's great.
I'm headed there today.
I love it. So as you've started to build these groups, what's been some of the challenges that you've run into as you're starting to build some of the groups? Well,
I think the biggest challenge is that Nashville is so full of great networking opportunities that, why would people want to pay to be a member of Network in Action?
Okay.
So that has been a good challenge. I mean, it's great that we've got all those options here, but we're more than just a referral, another referral group, or a lot of networking groups are really more of a social experience. Mm-hmm. You're going and you're hoping you're going to get business, and we're more intentional about that. And every member has an active business coach, and in our case, 2 business coaches. Right. In our Sumner County group to contact at any time. So
So I want to dive into that networking piece a little bit because I feel like there's a misnomer for people. And I hear this all the time when I talk to people or talk to clients. They're like, hey, I went to this networking group and I collected 10 cards and I gave out 12 cards, but nobody called me.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at them, I go, did you follow up with them? And they kind of, well, in some cases I did, but no one bothered to follow up with me. And so my thought to them is, well, maybe your messaging isn't quite right because you didn't entice them enough with your messaging.
Yeah.
Maybe it's things like that. So what some of the things that you do with Network in Action, I mean, is that, and we've talked about this before, that's why I'm bringing this up, but I think it's an important piece, right? The follow-up and the follow-through.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And even backing it up even more, how are you showing up at those networking groups? I mean,
Great
do you
point.
believe in yourself? Do you believe in your product, your service? And are you looking the part? I mean, do you look like someone that you would want to do business with? Every aspect of that, from how you physically are showing up to, I see that some people will come to networking events and they're on their phone the whole time.
Yeah.
Not with Network in Action. That's a habit we want to kind of break because we want you to be present.
Yes.
So there's the how am I showing up factor. And I think you have to, if you're going to go to any networking event, whether it's a chamber or a BNI or a Network in Action or whatever it is, to go in with the attitude of what can I give? Who can I help? Instead of going in thinking, what am I going to get out of this? Or what can I get? And what did people do for me or not do for me?
Right.
So that's kind of managing your expectations. And, for the people who are more reserved, it can be very intimidating to go into a networking event.
Very much.
And, if they can let go of the fact that everyone else is probably feeling the same thing and just go in with, a spirit of being curious about others and how you can help them, that will definitely, mitigate that anxiety. Right. But to your point, with the follow-up and the follow-through, that is a hot topic that we have been hitting on in our groups and individually with members. Because here, as an example, if you refer someone to me, Jeff, who might be a great prospect for Network in Action, and you do a group text, and I don't bother to follow up with that person for 5 days or at all, how likely are you ever going to be to refer anyone else to me? So, when you're in a networking group, you're looking to see how people are going to treat the people that you bring to them. And it starts with getting to know each other. So, with our group and with any group, you want to get to know the members of those groups. So, and you're really good at that, Jeff. You are a rock star with that. You really are intentional about knowing the other members.
Well, through what you've taught us at Network in Action is, look, we're a group, and as we all know, it's all about relationships, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not that anybody in the group is there that we're going to, they could become clients, I guess, in the group. That's fine, but that's not really it. It's like when they're talking to someone and all of a sudden they mention something and they go, ooh. And your response, and you and I laugh about this all the time, is I got a guy or I got a girl, right?
Yes, definitely.
And so I think that's the key to that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you're right on.
Yeah. So you have the 3 groups. What is your overall plan for the groups? I mean, where do you want to be?
Yes. So by the end of Q2, so by the end of June of this year, I would love to have 50 members across all 3 groups. And I believe that's we're on pace to have that happen. We have 26 or 27 members now, and then we're doing a big kickoff event in Rutherford County at the end of this month.
Okay.
And in fact, I just secured. We'll be welcoming the very first founding member of that group. Had that conversation.
Well, that's exciting. That's exciting stuff.
And then by the end of the year, the goal is to be at 100 members.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Very cool. So the question I have for you is, what's driving you? I mean, you heard about Network Action. You kind of liked the idea. But what's driving you to want to do this? What's your passion? What's your why? Let's go to that. What's your why?
My why is I think she was an educator. She was definitely a motivational speaker and leader in the education world I think her name was Rita Pearson. I don't know why I'm going blank on that, but she said every child needs a champion. Okay. And so it kind of goes back to my school educator days. And we had a 56% graduation rate when I started as principal.
56?
5-6.
Wow.
And no one cared. No one was talking about the kids that were falling through the cracks of the system. And it really ticked me off because, we are the educators. We're supposed to have all the answers. We are not supposed to have kids fall through the cracks. That's what we all went to school for. And back to Rita's quote of every child needs a champion. That was the culture we instilled in the high school that I was working in, and together, not me alone by any means, but together with the staff, the parents, the community, the students, we were able to move that needle from 56% to 89%.
Wow.
And
okay, that's a big jump.
And it was the highest performing, most improved school district in that whole part of the state to this day, I believe. But really, what it comes down to is caring about those students.
Okay.
And I see the same thing with business owners, especially now. We need to be connected to each other. We need resources. We need to know what works, what doesn't work, best strategies. And I kind of see us as the underdogs, right now. Small business owners are the heartbeat of America.
Yeah, they are.
And with, all the craziness with inflation and people trying to attract and retrain great talent, they need support and they need help. It's great when someone says, "How's your business going?" We always say, "Oh, it's fine." Yeah. But everyone's, awake in the night thinking about how can I improve things in my business?
Yeah. And I think there's always that, how can I improve it? How can I grow it? And part of the struggle, I think, and you and I both, from a coaching standpoint, is they get the blinders on, right? And they only see, what's in front of them instead of looking around and saying, what can we do a little different? That's what John and DJ said. They have the State of the Union meetings because they're looking at their business at times, right? And they say, okay, what do we got in front of us, and what can we change, and what can we make better, and things of that nature. So I think that's an important factor that we have to kind of keep in mind as we continue to go through that. So if you wanted people to know why Network in Action, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, if you want to be in a community of your peers and belong to a community that is time efficient for you, because we're all running 1,000 miles an hour. We only meet once a month, and then in between, you've got as much support and camaraderie and learning as you want or need in your business. So, we really meet the business owner where they are in their business and get a good picture of where they want to be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and help them make that happen.
Yeah, well, I know that sometimes when we meet, you actually put us through questionnaires, processes, things that we could use to help grow the business and things. And I think that's something unique as well.
Yeah, I agree. We help our members to optimize their LinkedIn profile, for example. And, we've done some work there too. And if you want to increase your audience online, in case, God forbid, we have another shutdown and you need to go remote, LinkedIn is such a great platform to get your message out there and start building relationships with potential clients. We have social media days.
Yeah.
We'll be coming here next week
to
interview some of our clients on a podcast. And we help with cost savings and time management and all kinds of health, improving your health. So we're kind of a whole person community.
Yeah, and I love that about it. I think it's really great. So, well, great. Tracy, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here, telling your story, sharing your passion, your why for us. It's always fun to be able to do these interviews and just have some fun to learn a little more about you and your business. If people want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
The best way is to just call or text me. My number is 315-212-8187, or find me on LinkedIn. Tracy Davison, no D in the middle. I'm not that cool.
I love it, Tracy. Well, thank you so much for being here. To all those that are watching, thank you so much. We always just enjoy the feedback. We know that we do these interviews to just bring people's stories out and to bring their journeys out, and we enjoy being able to do that. So until the next time, stay safe and be healthy.